Okay, welcome to depreciation. So the first method that we're going to look at is the straight line method, and then there'll be another video on diminishing value method. So straight line method just assumes that depreciation occurs each year and it goes down by the same amount. Okay, it's basically called the straight line method because if we graph it, which is what we're going to do, we end up with a linear graph. So the amount could be an actual amount of percent, or it could be a percentage of the original cost of the item. So my example up here, we're looking at a commercial refrigeration unit that has a useful life of 4 years. So it originally cost the owner $15,000. So its scrap value is estimated at $4,000. So it's basically what it's going to be worth at the end of the 4 years. So the depreciation has been calculated using straight line method. That's what we're going to do. So we've got 4 different things that we're going to work out here. So first of all, we're going to work out the annual depreciation. So we can do that by looking at the loss of value first. So our loss of value is our original cost. So it cost us $15,000 and it's going to be worth $4,000. And so basically that leaves me $11,000. So altogether I have lost $11,000. My annual loss, or my annual depreciation, is going to have me break that up over the time that I've had it for. So my loss of $11,000 over the whole time, I actually had it for 4 years, or the refrigeration unit was there for 4 years. So I lost that amount over 4 years. So to find out how much it is every year, I divide it. So 2,750. So my annual depreciation is $2,750. Okay, from there, I'm now going to answer B. Swap colours up. So B, for the first year, what is the annual depreciation as a percentage of the prime cost? So if I start here, so what I need to do is I need to use a formula. So my percentage depreciation, make sure you write this formula down. My percentage depreciation is going to be my depreciation amount over my original value. And of course, because I'm making it a percentage, I'm going to multiply by 100%. So I'm just going to sub into that. So my depreciation amount is 2,750. My original value was 15,000. And I'm going to multiply by 100%, or multiply by 100. And that will give me 18.33%. Now, I can also do, therefore, the percentage depreciation is 18.33% for the first year. Okay, next. C, we're looking at constructing a table. So, draw up a table, a depreciation schedule. So what I need to do is draw a table. So I'm going to start with the year here, starting value. These are my column headings. Then I'm going to have depreciation during the year, and written down value. So what we say is like we write something down, as in we slash the value of that item. Okay, now we're just gonna, oh, that was not a good idea there, that line. Let's just get rid of that. Obviously need to go from here along. Now I'm going to do 4 years because the term of my loan is, the term of depreciation, or the life value of my item is 4 years. You, of course, when you do this, will be using a ruler, just like when you do the graph. Okay, so my starting value. So at 1 year, I've got, my starting value in the first year was its original value, so 15,000. Now my depreciation, because it's straight line, is the same amount every year. So in the first year, it was 2,750. In the second year, 2,750. Third year, and fourth year. So all I then do is I take my depreciation from my starting value. So if I go 15,000, take 2,750, I end up with 12,250. So that becomes my starting value for the next year. Then I take down the next one, and so forth. And 4,000. So this is my depreciation schedule. Okay, and lastly, I need to actually graph this. So to do that, I'm just going to get rid of this side, because I don't have enough room. But we will need that table because they're the amounts that we will graph. Okay, so for D, draw up a graph of the book value of the refrigeration unit over time. So it's basically how much it's worth over time. And this way, even though we've looked at just at any point in 1 year, using that graph, we can actually interpolate in between those amounts. So if we want to know at like 2¼ years in, what the scrap value would be, or what its value would be, we would be able to look at that with a graph. So in order to do that, we give it a title. So just what I'm doing the book value of the refrigeration unit. Now I'm going to have 2 axes, one here, one here. Again, you would use a ruler, and graph paper would be a great idea. So down the bottom here, I'm going to have time in years, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I will give that time, and I will write what it's measured in brackets. So time in years. Then up this side, I'm going to have my book value. So let's start at 0, and then I'm just going to go up like 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. So 5, 10, 15,000. And again, not forgetting book value, my title for my axes, in dollars, underline. Okay, and then I basically graph these on. So if I have a look over here at 0, so at the very starting point, it was 15,000. Then at the end of year 1, 12,250. So after 1 year, 12,250. Maybe here, not so great. Then 2 years, 9,500, so just under there. 3 years, 6,750, so maybe about there. And 4 years, we're at 4,000, so that's down there. Now what you should be able to do is draw a straight line. Unfortunately, because I don't have graph paper, mine are a little out, okay? But you can draw a straight line through those points, okay? To show that each point goes down by the same amount. So we could actually work out that gradient, and that gradient would be the depreciation amount. Okay, so that is all of the steps that you will need to take when you deal with a question that looks at depreciation using the straight line method. So make sure you have a practice of some of the ones that are in the OneNote so that you get familiar with the process.